What's up guys, Hector here from Fruit Boot, and this is my final thoughts and review on the Roces M12s. So let's talk about the fit. At first the fit is a bit snug, and that's to be expected because it is a narrower boot than other skates. Not just that, but the liner is very padded, and especially around the ankle area, and it requires some break-in time. After skating them for a couple months, the liners felt fine. Still a bit snug around the ankles, but no discomfort. As I've said, once you lace them up, there's no movement of your feet. There's no heel rise or heel lift or anything. Your feet are locked in. The memory buckle is one of the best skate tech accessories ever invented. Set it and forget it. If you have any discomfort, take your boot off, give your feet a breather, walk around, put them back on. Memory buckle's already set. All you have to do is put the clasp into the buckle and lock it in. The cuff being riveted is a pro and a con in itself. It's a pro because you don't have to worry about the cuff bolt loosening up. The reason why it would be a con is because you can't take the cuff off and wax the inside of the cuff and the boot to reduce any kind of squeaking or noise. Cuff felt good. It felt flexible enough for me to do tricks. Also, it felt supportive. It might be a little bit too stiff for some of you, and thus being another con of the cuff being riveted. You can't change it out for a more flexible cuff like the Razor's cuff or a Rem's cuff, if that's what you prefer. The stock liners is better than most. So the liner is not the most comfortable liner, but once you break it in, it's bearable. I've tried several different liners with the M12s, and come to find out the stock liner is the best fit for that boot. So I think the liners have this antimicrobial technology, because when I skate for like 4 hours at a time, and when I get home I take my skates out of the bag and I put them on top of my grind box with the cuff all the way loose and everything like opened out so that the liner can breathe, so they don't get smelly and stinky and whatnot. With the Roces liner, you don't have to worry about that. It smells just like new. The frames that came with the M12s are just standard Roces team frame, nothing special. I did notice that when I first got them, when I first started skating them, little strands of plastic would just like peel off of the frame itself. But after a while that just stopped and they were fine. It might have been just excessive plastic peeling off of the frame, and after you skate them for a little while, it's nothing to worry about. The frames are perfectly fine. They slide fine, they're nice and thick. There's no flexibility like you would see in other frames like the ground control Featherlight 3s. I wouldn't recommend those for us bigger guys. Stock wheels are great. I think Roces makes one of the best stock wheels in the industry, and I was a little skeptical about riding ABEC 5s, especially since I'm used to riding ABEC 7s. I didn't notice them being slower or any different than my ABEC 7 bearing. There is a heel rise in this boot, therefore there is no shock absorber. That might be a deal breaker for some of you guys. For me, I actually prefer it because then you don't have to worry about placing a heel shock absorber later on. Some bad things that I can note about the boot is that because there's no foot bedding, or there's that thin little insole on the inside, which I would recommend is probably one of the first things I would replace on this skate. Only reason I say that is because I started to feel some slight discomfort on the balls of my feet as I landed. So that's probably a result of not having proper insoles. Despite the sole plates being smaller and narrower compared to other sole plates on the market, I didn't have a problem locking onto my sole tricks. Locked on soles, Mizus, acids, porn stars, did some mystery owls, Machios, no problems. However, the backslide groove, I did have a rough time doing royales. Backside torques, I kind of felt like I would lock into them sometimes. Then again, I would just slip out of them easily, but that could be my fault not jumping directly on top of my foot when I'm doing backside torques. So you're just gonna have to try it out and see for yourself if they work for you. They're not the fastest sole kits on the market, but they're good. They're very good. I have nothing to complain about. The laces, as I've said, is probably another thing you would want to change on these. I'm still rocking the stock laces, and I'm starting to see a little bit of some of the fiber unraveling, so to speak. So that being said, I'm gonna stick with my recommendation on using some wax laces on these. My recommendations is obviously to measure your foot and consult with your local skate shop and find out what size is best for you. I don't think I have very much bad things to say about this skate other than it's squeaky, and that's gonna happen when you have plastic parts rubbing on plastic parts. I mean, it's part of the skates. I bought these brand new for $250 from inlinewarehouse.com. By now I don't think any skate shop has them in stock, but you can probably find other M12s in different styles and colorways that are in stock, and they're going to be similar to these. Feel free to order yourself a pair because I recommend these. These are a great boot. This style boot has been around for 30 years. They continue to manufacture them. So that's got to tell you something there. So anyways, those are my final thoughts on the Roces M12 Nils Jansons Storm. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like. Let me know in the comments below what you liked and disliked about this video. And as always, keep on rolling.